I understand there's really not much left for her to do in college. The one thing, of course, that we haven't been able to do is become a Final Four team and win both those games. Maybe that'll happen this year. I certainly hope so. It's safe to say with our seniors, and Caitlyn's just one of them, of course, they're going to be highly motivated to go out in a blaze of glory. And I don't know if they can pull it off, but I wouldn't bet against them either, because they understand the beauty of basketball. In my mind, if you're not so good in December or even January, that's okay. You just got to be good in March. And some teams, of course, are peaking right now. Other teams seem to be flaming out a little bit. So we'll see which category both of our teams are in. With a little bit of luck, they'll both give a really good account of themselves in the conference tournament that are coming up. And then, of course, even more importantly, the NCAAs.
You're not by nature, well, I shouldn't say this because I don't know, but you don't seem to be a quote-unquote emotional guy.
I'm more analytic.
You're more of an analytic, and that's some of that's just the. I don't want to make this about gender, but some of that's just the male way of thinking, right? Like I'm the same way, but I think all of us. But I don't know. I'm just thinking about the career that Caitlyn has left here, and knowing now that these are her final few games, it does kind of get you not emotional per se. I'm sure some people are emotional about it, but this is a once in a lifetime type of talent. We've never seen anything like this at Iowa. It's incredible, and so I just hope people appreciate this. And I think the one takeaway I had when the announcement initially broke and she released this on social media, first of all, I think it was cool that she was able to announce it and it didn't get leaked by someone in the media. My one reaction was she wants senior day to feel like senior day. She wants everybody to know this is senior day, and it's not just going to be senior day for her, but a number of these players who have been around this program for several years. But just cannot imagine what that crowd will be like on Sunday against Ohio. Against a really good Ohio State team.
Yes, we definitely have our hands full. I think it's going to be a great game. And it's unfortunate, as you know, Ohio State's already celebrated the fact that they won the regular season title. But that's okay. There's still a lot riding on the game. Obviously, we have a chance to be a 1 seed, especially if we can knock off Ohio State, and then have a good tournament, a good Big Ten tournament, I should say. That should give us a great chance to become a number 1 seed. If we end up as a 2, that's fine. That's all well and good. What I would not want to do is end up as a 4. 3 plays 2, obviously. If it all goes according to schedule, 3 plays 2, and 4, of course, has to play 1. So I'm confident we're not going to be a 4. We'd have to really, really struggle down the stretch here for us to fall all the way to a 4. And when I say a 4, of course, I mean one of the 4 number 4 seeds in the tournament.
How do you think her game will translate to the next level?
I hate to beg off of a good answer, but I simply haven't seen that much WNBA. I'm not sure, but I have to believe it's going to travel well. Think of it this way, Corey. This is an amazing statistic if you think about it. At least in the modern history of women's basketball, only one player has finished in the top 25 in both scoring and assists. Caitlyn's not only in the top 25, she's number 1 on one list and number 6 on the other. Isn't that incredible that nobody else has been in the top 25 in both categories? So that says so much about how well she can share the ball. She's not just a scorer. She's also a passer. And I even had the privilege of telling her dad, if Caitlyn would have been born as a son to you, no doubt in my mind, he would have been a great quarterback, because Caitlyn understands spatial awareness. You've heard me say that before. Let's face it, hitting Hannah or Kate in particular, or maybe Molly, streaking down the court on a fast break is not much different than going play action wide middle to a tight end behind the linebacker. Very similar. You got to be able to touch the ball over the linebacker if you have to, and still be sure you don't leave it in the air too long, because at that point, of course, the safeties are going to light up your tight end. So the same thing really applies in basketball.
She has changed the game of college basketball, women's college basketball, and I have no doubt she's going to change the WNBA. I don't know how her range, her ability to handle, her vision doesn't translate over. I just cannot imagine it not. So, like there are examples on the men's side of players that never really transitioned well to the NBA. One name that comes to mind is Jimmer Fredette. But Caitlyn is a lot more complete in her own right than Jimmer Fredette ever was on the men's side. So let's just make that clear.
Yeah,
And,
I agree.
He was really good. He had great range. I could score it, but she just, again, all those things I just mentioned, her vision, her ability to get her teammates involved, score at any level. She's obviously an excellent free throw shooter. And just her swagger, her attitude, I think is going to be a breath of fresh air for a league that needs help. I don't think there's any question. The WNBA needs help. That's been well documented. And congratulations to Caitlyn on a big decision. I'm disappointed. I mean, I was hoping she'd come back for another year. I'm happy to announce that. But I'm just happy. Fans ought to be happy that they got her for 4 years, because if this was set up any differently, Don, usually a talent like this at any institution for a major sport, you're not going to get 4 years out of them, because you're either nowadays you're going to have somebody poach them, somebody that can offer them more money, or pro opportunities come calling and they leave after 2 or 3 years, and it's just not the way college women's basketball is set up.
The other reason I think that Caitlyn's going to be so good for the WNBA is simply because she's a wonderful person, and I don't doubt if they have part of the problem is with public relations, of course, or with image. And Caitlyn's going to only enhance that image simply because she knows how to treat people, knows how to interact with children as well as adults. And in that regard, she'll be a great spokesperson to represent the league.